AI filmmaking tools are rapidly improving, and while it's easy to say that they're not production ready yet, we really need to take a look at how far we can push the current technology. Of course, the faces are still uncanny, and there are lip sync issues and likeness discontinuities, but by putting together full scenes, we can see that this new approach to digital filmmaking has very exciting possibilities.
Tasty Flakes, part of America's complete breakfast.
Gagné, the new fragrance.
Time to unleash the beast.
The transmission again. You know, this is the third time this rotation. You humans are so lucky. You can get all your maintenance needs taken care of at Auto Tech Car Care Centers. They even provide tow service. I guess I'll call Uncle Xenon to see if he can give me a lift.
This AI ad demo was compiled in an effort to see how Hollywood artists can guide these new AI tools. The trained eye of a director, DP, production designer, and editor are absolutely essential to create anything usable, and existing VFX workflows give us an idea of how new processes can be incorporated into productions. In order to cast the cereal commercial, Google's Imagine was used to generate lots of headshots to choose from. Nano Banana is pretty good at creating buildings given very detailed text prompts, at least for well established 20th century styles. Here we used architectural descriptions in the format of historic building surveys. Now, you can never just trust what the AI is giving you, so you do have to check every individual detail for accuracy. Once you have an exterior shot, Flux is a very useful tool for cycling through different times of day. The kitchen interiors were also generated through text prompting, with many variations. Refining these still frames does require a mastery of Photoshop and includes many hours of manual labor, but the AI-generated assets still drastically reduce the amount of work necessary. The still images were run through numerous image-to-video models, including Google Veo, Grok, Cdance, Hailuo, and Kling. And you also have to remember that the generations are essentially visual effects plates, and these exteriors were put together with many different passes from different video models. It should go without saying that all of these shots go through a traditional post-production workflow with editing, VFX, color, and sound mixing. But there does also have to be a pass of paintouts to address the artifacting of AI video. Most sound effects were either Foley or stock, but Adobe Firefly does have a useful feature that generates sound effects. The voiceover used 11 Labs text-to-speech. This late 18th century parlor set began as a 3D environment that we had done years ago, but instead of rendering, we were able to use AI to turn a low-res screen cap into a photorealistic image. From there, the furniture was chosen based on museum pieces and antiques, and Google's Nano Banana was able to realistically place it into the scene. The specificity is key. because it allows the production designer to pull from all of their expert experience and research. The woman's face was generated in Adobe Firefly, and we had Nano Banana use the hair and makeup from a specific painting and a robe à l'anglaise from a museum. We went through many more variations and refinements, including a ton of different soda cans. Many of these video generations come out at relatively low resolutions, so we had to use Topaz to upres a lot of the elements. For the mansion exterior, Nano Banana had trouble understanding the late Hollywood Regency style through text prompting, so I did have to provide it with some images of Beverly Hills landmarks for reference. It did a great job with this early Hollywood Regency interior, though. Dressing the characters and placing them into the scene was relatively simple. The bulk of the work with this set was the lighting design. The eye of a seasoned director of photography is essential here to truly capture a cinematic look. For this scene, the interplay between the lighting of the quote-unquote raw footage, along with the compositing and color grading, all contributed to the final shots. Now that's similar to the way we would have handled a green screen shoot in the past. The car commercial is another example of how it really was all about exploring different lighting variations. Here, especially with the final city shot, the AI generations are just elements to take over with compositing. The line of dialogue was accomplished with simple image-to-video prompting that included the sentence and quotes. The initial generations for the flying saucer came out with an illustrated look, so we had to keep trying to prompt to push the realism. Similarly with the alien, we took what was essentially concept art and had Nano Banana turn it into a puppet mask. Placing the alien in the saucer bridge set, we experimented with a lot of different materials, different looks for the consoles, the costume, and the lighting. In order to animate the alien, we used a feature that Kling has called motion transfer. That is actually me doing the performance. The lip sync is constantly improving with each new version of these tools, and here we did end up compositing my mouth back onto the alien for some of it. The final results of this demo show how the core skills of working Hollywood artists are ultimately what translates to quality on screen. The AI advancements that are available to us now should be treated the same way that we've treated new digital tools for the past 30 years. They facilitate the work of well-trained professionals.